Walking a path along the roots of Pikes Peak, you take a fork in the road to the Anselm Society Digital Pub. Inside is a raucous conversation on the arts, faith, and maybe a few too many Hans Gruber impersonations. In a corner table by the fire are three people. One of them is about to shout out, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother!" But then the other two hosts slap him on the mouth and shut him up. And that's me, your co-host, Matthew Mellema. And welcome to Believe to See, a podcast of the Anselm Society Arts Guild. Here at Believe to See, we explore the relationship between faith, art, and storytelling. Our goal is to connect the great story, the great stories, in our own stories so that we can better imagine what it means to live with a Christian imagination. Now, over here at Believe to See, one of our favorite things about Christmas is going back, once again, to some of our favorite stories. I think if we're being honest, for most of us, the movies and TV shows we've seen the most often are probably the ones we watch every Christmas season. Now, most of these are obviously Christmas movies. You know, things like Elf, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Santa Claus, Christmas Story, Miracle on 34th Street, and on and on and on. But other movies are not quite as easy to categorize. Sure, some people may watch them around Christmas, but are they really Christmas movies? Wouldn't it be nicer if there was some nerd, a lawyer perhaps, who could put together an objective test for determining definitively whether a movie is properly a Christmas movie? So don't worry, I'm here to help. I'm happy to do it, so it's no problem. On this episode, my co-hosts and I are going to discuss the criteria for whether a film should be considered a Christmas movie, and then we're going to apply that to a series of very close calls to determine which are properly Christmas and which are merely imposters, which is a Scrooge in Bob Cratchit's clothing. So let me introduce my co-host for this. First of all, Mandy Hauk.
Yes,
welcome
Matthew.
to the podcast, Mandy.
Hello, thank you.
I was getting the vibe from the green room here that you are about to give some very strong opinions on some very awesome movies.
I am. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Get ready.
Oh boy. Our other host today is Evangeline Denmark. How are you doing, Evangeline?
I am doing well.
Okay, well, would you... Now that that's
Are
over...
you ready to fight?
I'm probably going to be like the neutral ground here.
You need to sit between us.
Yes.
Well, that's...
because I don't have strong opinions on what's coming.
That makes you better suited for this because
Okay.
we're talking about hard equations and rational thinking, using our hearts, as they might say on 30 Rock. So let me take you all a step back and tell you about Justice Breyer, recently retired from the Supreme Court.
Wow.
No shade,
Okay.
Justice Breyer, you did a lot of good things, but one of the things that he was notorious for was having his impossibly complicated balancing tests. So to determine a question of law, he would go like, okay, there's an 11-factor balancing test, which each has 5 sub-factors and 4 different, all this stuff.
Wow.
Which are kind of fun, even though I kind of like to make fun of him for that. Gently, Justice Breyer, because I'm sure you're listening. So in that spirit, I have decided to come up with my own test to determine whether something is a Christmas movie. So there's several factors. Each one is balanced. And I put this together. I'd like to discuss the criteria with you both before we start applying it to the movies themselves.
Fair.
Okay. So first of all, the first factor, does the movie primarily take place around Christmas? This seems like a given, but you can imagine a Christmas movie that has parts that take place in other parts of the year as well. I can think of a few, but I think this is almost a necessary but not sufficient factor, right? It's pretty much necessary to be a Christmas movie, but it in and of itself doesn't make one a Christmas movie.
Right. Agreed.
Next one. Whether Christmas is a core part of its plot. In other words, would the plot be occurring but for it being Christmas? So, yeah, Christmas is happening in the background, but for Christmas, would any of these people be here? Put maybe a slightly different way, how hard would it be to rewrite this as a non-Christmas movie? The harder it is, the more Christmassy it is. Factor 3. This one is very feelings-based. Justice Scalia would be very grumpy at me for this one, but sorry, I'm doing a Justice Breyer test now. Is the movie trying to evoke Christmas-type feelings? So you look at the ambiance, you look at it, is there snow or there decorations? All the things we associate, the accoutrement of cultural Christmas. Mm-hmm. Is this movie trying to evoke those? And finally, factor 4, traditional use. Do a significant number of people view the film as a Christmas movie? Now, I would argue that almost all the films we have here have some folks who ardently defend them as Christmas movies, but is that enough of a critical mass to cause it to be a Christmas movie?
No.
So, wow. I can already sense the hostility, and I just want you to know, Mandy, your husband agrees with me.
Oh, I'm aware.
So we're going to do that, and using my very carefully calibrated balancing test, we're then going to assign each of these movies a score on a 0 to 10 scale. 0 being no Christmassy things in it at all, so Jaws, and 10 being the most Christmassy thing you can imagine, which, as Mandy suggested, is probably A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Yes.
So on the scale of Jaws to Muppet's Christmas Carol, how are we going to rank these movies? Okay. With that said, do we have any questions from the other two panelists?
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Let's,
All right.
let's do this.
Any criteria you'd like to add to our determination here?
I don't think so. Anything for you, Evangeline?
No, I don't. I think you've laid it out pretty well.
Believe it or not, you were thorough in your...
It's almost like this is your day job.
Almost.
Thank you.
Ranking Christmas
It's your
movies.
day job and your hobby. Like,
I just like rules.
I know.
All right,
We
so
know.
should we start with the
We know.
most contentious, go to least, or should we ease into it with the less contentious one?
we might want to ease into it.
Okay.
I won't have
All right.
a blood pressure issue. early
So,
on.
this first one is going to be one where I will admit I don't care for this movie very much, but I know a lot of people do sort of view it as a Christmas movie, and that is Love Actually.
Okay.
So, you both seen Love Actually?
Yes.
Okay, thoughts about it, very brief.
Do not like it.
You don't like it. Evangeline.
Don't remember it very well.
Okay.
Well,
I remember Hugh, what's his name,
Grant.
dancing,
Yep.
Yeah.
and the little boy.
Yep. Martin Freeman's in it because he's in every single British film.
Yes. I think it's
so-
the law.
It
think
is
yes.
the law.
So
At least it
a
was under
statute.
Queen Elizabeth. We'll see
Yes,
if King
we'll
Charles
see if King
keeps
Charles-
that up.
Yes.
But
I think the fact that you don't remember much is sort of an
I
indictment.
remember the scene with the cards. I'm not a huge Keira Knightley fan. So
Whoa.
Oh, I am not either.
Wow.
No, I know.
17-year-old Matt feels directly
I
threatened.
know.
I know, Matt, you and I have had Keira Knightley
What?
debates before.
Keira Knightley is always playing Keira Knightley.
Amen.
That's bad.
I mean, okay, Jimmy Stewart always played Jimmy Stewart, but I would much rather hang out with Jimmy Stewart than Keira Knightley.
Well, Matt of 17 would be stomping out in indignation, but
Well, now we lost Keira Knightley.
Matt in my mid-30s.
Whole family as listeners.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry.
So, for those of you who haven't seen the movie, but in general, Love Actually is a series of romantic vignettes. It's a series of half a dozen love stories
And
that
I don't even remember rooting for the couples. That was part of the problem. I'm like, I don't care.
So yeah, they're half dozen love stories. They all vaguely intersect every now and then, but they're all pretty self-contained, and they all take place around Christmas. Mm-hmm. So a big closing scene is one of the rock stars playing a Christmas song. You see Christmas decorations in the background. There's a line, all I want for Christmas is you, and it's supposed to be cute. Wow, we are all just grumpy about this movie, aren't we?
Wow. Yeah.
We should have vetted this beforehand. But basically, for me, my 2 cents, the only love story I felt at all compelled by was the Keira Knightley and the friend. And even then,
It was
more
only because you like Keira Knightley.
that, and I felt for the dude. And the card thing was, that's a...
It's memorable.
It's memorable. I did not feel anything for any of the other couples, and I was actively rooting against them because I'm a Scrooge. Bah humbug.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's put this through the criteria.
Okay.
One, it does take place around Christmas.
Yes, it
so
does.
that is true, and they do make that clear with the decorations. They reference it pretty often. 2, whether Christmas is a core part of its plot. So, but for it being Christmas, could this movie take place? Now, there are a couple special elements about this movie that do involve Christmas. For instance, Alan Rickman plays one of the characters. Remember, he buys the gift for like his seductive secretary and screws up his marriage, and it's all very sad.
Yes.
But he buys a Christmas present for the secretary, and the wife finds out. So, but for it being Christmas, that would be tougher to do, but not impossible.
It could be a Valentine's present.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like a birthday or whatever.
Right.
Other stuff. Any other things that you think are Christmas particular about Love Actually, Mandy?
Not integral to the plot. I don't feel like it has a core.
How
Christmas.
about when the buddy is at Keira Knightley's house and he says, "Tell them it's carolers," and flips the cards?
Yeah.
That would be harder to pull off if it wasn't Christmas.
Yes.
That's true,
If it was
because-
July.
And that is the most
There-
iconic scene in the movie.
There are not St. Patrick's Day carolers, so
Well, there are if you're Anselm
yeah.
adjacent.
Yeah.
I could
that's
see us getting some St. Patrick's Day carols going.
Yes.
all right.
Yes. It's really more pub.
All right.
songs,
Well, then,
but-
what is the numerical score we're giving? Are we giving?
Well, we haven't quite gone through all the criteria yet. We need to run it through the balancing machine. The next
Right.
one,
Okay.
overall feeling, is it trying to evoke Christmas-type feelings? There are times when it does, like they showcase the snow.
Yeah, they're trying.
There's a
I mean,
Christmas pageant at one point.
the romance that's part of the. I feel like they're trying to appeal to how people want to be in love at Christmas.
But like a movie like The Holiday, that's very romance centered and also Christmas.
Oh, that belongs on the list too.
So
Thank
I
you
don't
for
know where
reminding
I
me
was
of that.
going with that. Never mind. I'm
So there
sorry.
is a subgenre of Christmas, like it's like a mashup of two super popular genres. Like the quintessential Hallmark movie channel viewer loves Christmas and they love romance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to mash them together, but is that still a Christmas movie? And Love Actually is basically that, but for like the wine and cheese crowd, right?
Yes.
Or like the crumpets and Marmite crowd. So I do think there are some. There are some Christmassy feels to it, but it seems a little surface level to me. Finally, traditional use. Do a significant number of people view the film as a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you
anybody
know a lot
who's
of
like-
people who like view it every Christmas?
Oh, well, I don't know, but I've always heard it talked about as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't think of it as a traditionally thought of Christmas movie.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. On the 0 to 10 score, we also need what is a 5?
What is something that's very much in the middle?
Not Jaws and not Muppet? Are you looking for a...
So this would be one that has... So, listener, what I'm doing right now is the sort of thing I do at work all the time. I just sigh.
Staring
Okay, I have a
Yes,
suggestion
Evangeline.
because I thought of this like as we were talking, but I think this might bridge the gap.
Okay.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Is that a Christmas
Can that
movie?
be a number 5? Because it has Christmas, but it is not like it could occur. I think without Christmas.
I didn't know Sleepless in Seattle was even taking place at Christmas.
Not all of it is taking place at Christmas. There's also Valentine's Day.
Oh, in that case, I think it would have to be lower than a 5 if there's other holidays too.
yeah,
just
I
'cause
would
there's
say...
not-
Because like
in it.
You've Got Mail has some Christmas scenes in it, right? But I wouldn't call that a Christmas movie.
Don't you think it kind of bridges the gap because there's some Christmas and some not Christmas? Like, couldn't it be the 5th ranking? We are now fighting about
The
rankings and what movie we're going to use as the mid ranking.
Okay, I think
Maybe Love
let's
Actually
set
is
it.
a 5.
Let's do this. Let's set Love Actually as a 5 for now, with the understanding that as we rank these, we'll sort of
Because
adjust it as we go.
I would say, I think,
Like-
it seems to me they intended it to be a Christmas movie. The creators.
Wait, so is it the 5, like the definition that we hold other movies up to say whether or not they are a 5, or we're just saying it is a 5?
So I think for now it's a placeholder, and as we keep going, we'll compare like is it more or less Christmassy than Love Actually. And if we get a lot more, we can shift the scale up. I want this to be sort of like a bell curve.
Okay.
Okay.
So right now it's in the meaty part of the bell, and I think the reason is because the caroler scene, which again is the most iconic scene, cannot happen without the carolers.
Mm-hmm.
The Alan Rickman scene cannot happen without it being Christmas. they do seem to go out of their way. Oh, yes.
Harry Potter. They're
Yeah.
always like around
There's
Christmas.
always a Christmas scene.
Can that be like number? I don't know why I keep
say
coming up with this. Could this be a 5?
I would say Harry Potter, You've Got Mail would be like a 1 or a 2. So there's a few Christmassy elements, but it's not, no one would call Harry Potter a Christmas movie.
I forget that Christmas happens in the Harry Potter movies. It doesn't come up.
You know, I think it's like I'm associating these because, like, in my house, like Harry Potter marathons and Lord of the Rings marathons. Lord of the Rings is not Christmas. There's
but you
no
guys watch
Christmas,
it. Right,
but it always
right.
happens around
Right.
Christmas. So, yeah.
Now, I like how Evangeline, you're the neutral party here, but now you're the one going
I just keep thinking of all these movies,
Going
and I'm
on-
like, wait, what about
fighting
this?
for all of these movies.
What about-
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is Christmassy.
It is Christmassy,
Well, it's always winter, never Christmas. That's the problem.
but then it is.
But they
Then it
rescue
is.
Christmas, which is sort
Santa's
of
in
the
it.
core Christmas movie thing. We have to rescue Christmas.
All right, so I think we're going to go Love Actually, a preliminary 5.
Okay.
That is preliminary, and it's based on the fact that several key scenes do involve Christmas. Oh, Evangeline is already
Evangeline is
disapproving.
She is not as neutral as she
Wow.
purported.
All right. Let's
False
well,
advertising.
So the majority of the panel, me and Mandy's give it a 5, but we do have a dissenting opinion from Evangeline.
Would you say 4? Oh, Lewis is the cat is weighing in.
I don't know. I just don't like what I'm objecting to is holding it up as the
As
ranking
the
of
standard
5.
bearer. Okay.
Yes.
Would you like it to
that's
be
what I don't
lower or
like
higher
it.
than 5 for now?
It's not that I want it to be lower or higher. It's I don't want it to be the standard for 5.
How about it's 5, but in italics, in parentheses?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so that was the first one, Love Actually. Next
We
one.
thought we were starting without a fight.
Next one. Let's go with It's a Wonderful Life. This one, I think, it's widely considered a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be super honest again. This is not one of my favorite films.
Oh.
But I know a lot of listeners disagree, and that's cool. I can tell Mandy disagrees. So
Yeah.
your defense of George Bailey.
Well, I absolutely love, first of all, any black and white movies, so don't show me the colorized version. Thank you. But I also love Jimmy Stewart. I love
love
him.
Jimmy Stewart, too.
However, I will say, when I saw this on the list, I scoffed, and then I thought about it, because I was like, how could you say that is a borderline Christmas movie? And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a second. It's like not Christmas in the entire movie.
For like the first half of it, it's
Until
all like
more than.
Yeah.
Until because the majority of the movie isn't present day. The majority of the movie is him growing up. And I don't think it's Christmas in any of the scenes of him growing up. Because there's the graduation, there's the stock market crash, there's the wedding, all the stuff that is not Christmas at all. It's framed by Christmas. But so that I agree it's borderline, and I'm shocked, but I'm still going to watch it every Christmas.
Evangeline, any other preliminary thoughts on It's a Wonderful Life?
I don't love it. I
Mandy?
remember there's snow, so that feels Christmassy. There's that obnoxious child who's like, an angel gets his wings.
She's not. That's Zuzu. Zuzu is not obnoxious. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Evangeline, bringing the fire. All right.
True. I had hot takes about Christmas.
let's again put this through the balancing machine. Whether the movie primarily takes place around Christmas.
That's a no.
I think so. The frame story, right?
The frame, yes.
It's clearly takes place around Christmas because the angels are discussing George Bailey during Christmas, right?
Right.
But screen time, the majority of it
No.
is not Christmas. So
At
I think
all.
this has to be a no.
I agree. Shockingly.
Whether Christmas is a core part of its plot. But for Christmas, could this movie happen? I think yes.
I think so too.
I think you could put it any time of the year and it'd work almost as well.
My husband is sitting near us without a mic, and he's making faces. He's really wanting to do his Jimmy Stewart, Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls
So
impersonation.
I guess if you're making an argument for Christmas being important, the reason the town comes together for Jimmy Stewart at the end, it's like an act of Christmas charity.
Yes.
So Christmas throws that into starker relief and maybe gives more of a reason for the, charitable behavior.
Yes.
But I do think if it was to happen in like March or August, you could still do that with minimal changes to the script.
Because the main event that distracts Uncle Billy and the reason he accidentally gives the money to Potter, sorry, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, that's your problem. But all that stuff is more about Harry coming home. And he's not coming home for Christmas. He's coming home because he got honored at the White House for saving all the lives. So Christmas is really, I think it's just for the nostalgia feeling and the starker relief, as you said, the Christmas charity. But that's not why Harry's even coming home. I mean, George Bailey has the wreath on his arm when he's reading the paper and, all that stuff. But I don't know. And Janie's playing the piano and I don't know.
Yeah, I think that gets to the next factor here, and
Yes.
whether the movie's trying to evoke Christmas-type feelings. And I think this is the strongest argument.
Yes.
Actually, these next two factors are both strong arguments in its favor. Because the closing scenes where George is running through the town and it's snowing big dramatic snowflakes, and he's in front of the tree, and the bell rings and everyone's singing like that. Those are you can tell Capra's going for the Christmassy feels.
Absolutely.
Right, Evangeline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how
Definitive yes.
Evangeline will come out, maybe some hot takes, and she goes back into
Yeah, like,
now
wait a
she's
minute, I don't care.
Waiting counts.
Never mind, I don't care.
I will watch it 3 times to make up for you guys.
All right, that's fair.
So that does play in its favor. But again, those Christmassy feels all come at the end.
Yes.
So you have to go through like 75, 80% of the movie to get to
90.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that plays against it. But that is sort of the hammer that you leave the movie on.
It is.
Okay, so that factor, I think, does go in favor of It's a Wonderful Life, but it's mixed.
I mean, because what would he be yelling when he's running through the streets if not Merry Christmas?
I love you, Bedford Falls!
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Emporium! Anyway.
So then the final factor is traditional use, whether it's culturally viewed as a Christmas movie. And this is probably the strongest argument in favor, right?
Well, I mean, because the reason it got, it wasn't popular for decades, and it didn't become popular until I believe the 80s because it was in the public domain. And so NBC was like, what? Public domain? Oh, let's play this movie every freaking Christmas. So NBC would play it over and over and do marathons of It's a Wonderful Life. So it sort of became a Christmas movie because of cheap NBC executives.
But you could phrase it slightly different way.
Yes.
The only reason we know about It's a Wonderful Life is because of its association as a classic Christmas movie.
Because
even though it
that's
arrived there
when
through
it was
happenstance.
played. When NBC bought the rights to it, that's how they used it.
So now let's give it its rating. Specifically, let's determine whether it is more or less Christmassy than Love Actually. I was prepared to rate it lower because of all the early factors, but the final factor of the cultural use of it is so strong that we probably have to put it ahead of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
agree with that.
I don't know if anyone watches it any time other than Christmas.
Yeah.
True.
Where Love Actually, you can watch it whenever.
Yeah. Yes,
All right.
I agree.
Let's go.
Whew.
Let's
I'm
give
relieved.
It's a Wonderful Life a tentative 6. Tentative.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to the next one. This is one, I might as well just do this now. This is probably my hottest
I'm ready.
take here. I don't think White Christmas is really a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay. That was a different one than I thought you were going to bring up, but I'm almost as upset about this one. How
So-
can it not be a Christmas movie? It's called White Christmas.
I'm so happy you asked. So first
You
of all,
mean you have an answer prepared?
I do.
Whoa.
I've been thinking about this a lot because my wife and her sister love this movie. They grew up watching it every year. They love it, love it, love it to pieces.
Our daughters watched it so much, and this is going to be an argument against me, but they watched it throughout the year, and they wore out the VHS tape because they watched it so much.
Yep. That will be part of my argument.
Yeah,
But yeah, I once made the mistake of saying that Rosemary Clooney, not that I disliked her hair, but that it was an unusual style.
Oh, it's a terrible
Danielle
style.
took this as an affront to her queen, Rosemary. And
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I love her. She's
So
my
if-
second favorite singer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And Bing Crosby is literally old enough to be her father. Mm-hmm. It's actually really gross.
I think he's 27 years older.
At least.
I think, yeah, it's really gross.
I didn't know that.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
But anyway,
Anyway,
I digress.
Yes.
So but anyway, my wife and my sister-in-law love this movie so much. So every Christmas, I of course have to watch it.
Yes.
And of course, I do it with a good attitude because I'm,
well,
a
you guys
dutiful
need
husband.
to come over next time. you're gonna watch
But
it.
I couldn't help noticing that I don't think it's much of a Christmas movie and let's put it through the factors.
All right.
One, whether the movie primarily takes place around Christmas.
Yes.
Sort
Yes.
of.
What?
The
It's not
mov-
Christmas Day.
The openings of the movie,
Are at Christmas on the battlefield.
Christmas on the battlefield, they're doing their, singing for the troops thing, but
They're
then
singing White Christmas.
they're down in Florida,
Yeah.
and it's around the Christmas season, but you never know that from any of the decor, what anyone's saying. Then they follow the Haynes sisters up.
To Vermont for a Christmas show.
Yeah, it's a show that happens to take place around Christmas.
It's the Inn's Christmas show, sir.
Yes, it does take place around Christmas, largely, not entirely. Okay.
Christmas season.
Largely.
Yeah.
It's implied
Remember-
that it's like mid-December.
Remember, when we were going through these factors, I said that this first one is necessary but not sufficient. So yes, it does
I know,
largely
but I'm
take
still
place,
gonna argue
but
that
that is
you're
not
wrong.
enough.
It isn't necessary.
It is
that what you said?
necessary.
It is necessary, but
Yes,
you're saying
Christmas
it's
is
not
not
even
sufficient.
true. Yeah, but it's. I agree that
It's-
it's not sufficient, but I disagree that you're saying it doesn't
I
primarily
think
take place around Christmas.
it largely does. So
Okay,
yes.
so
Okay,
largely
I'll
is a
give you that.
synonym
I'll
for
give you that.
primarily.
That is
All right.
exactly what I was thinking.
Thank you,
He's going
Evangeline.
largely, primarily.
I withdraw my last argument, so I'll give you
Good.
that one.
Woo!
Okay, next one. Whether Christmas is a core part of its plot, I would argue no. I think you could set this any time of the year and it would be almost as effective. Because the Haynes sisters are going up because they have a gig at this inn. It happens to be a Christmas gig, but that's not necessary. They didn't start putting on a show so that they can get more attention for the general. They later have a Christmas show. It happens to take place during Christmas, but the benefit concert for the general could happen any time of year. The only thing that Christmas does is it makes it slightly more difficult for all the men in the old Fightin' Fifth or whatever to make it up there to the inn. They could have easily said, well, Bing Crosby could be like, guys, I know it's just torture to get up here at Valentine's Day, or I know it's torture to get up here in late January, but you can do it. Like, it's so easy to rewrite this so it's not a Christmas movie. You change the last number slightly and you're fine. Look at all the other set pieces. There's the best things happen while you're dancing, nothing to do with Christmas.
True.
There's the one talking about snow. Not Christmas, snow. There's the one about modern dance. The theater, that has
That's
nothing to do
a fantastic
Mr.
number.
Bones, nothing
true.
about it.
Okay.
Almost all of the big set pieces, what the movie's known for, have zero to do with Christmas.
What the movie's known for is the song "I'm Dreaming of a What?"
It's a White Christmas.
Thank
That's
you.
one of the 10 songs.
but it's the most notable.
They actually wrote the movie around the song.
You'd
Yes.
but you'd never know that from just the movie.
You what?
Well,
Mandy knows that.
I know that. I am appalled.
so it sounds like you two would disagree with me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think.
I disagree.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In what ways do you disagree?
What? The
Aesthetic.
aesthetic.
Okay, so let's move on to factor 3 then. That's fair. Overall feeling is the movie trying to evoke Christmas type feelings.
110%. Even though I hate it when people say that. 100%.
I would argue no.
Well, I haven't finished.
So,
is this how you cut? Objection, Your Honor. No. So the whole reason they're wanting it to snow is because it's supposed to snow at Christmas. It makes Christmas magical if there's snow at Christmas. That's why they're not like, oh, I hope it snows so everyone can go skiing.
No, that's exactly what's going on.
No!
The General's Inn is doing poorly because it's not snowing, therefore they're not getting any skiers. That's a problem that can happen any time of the year.
That's a little bit what's going on.
Darn it.
Yes. All right.
But I don't think it would be as poignant if it wasn't Christmas time, because Christmas, we always want, white Christmas.
Yeah, are they going to be like, we're dreaming of skiing? I mean, no, that changes the entire emotion of the movie. And like, just think of the little nutcracker ballerinas coming out at the end, and they're wearing their beautiful red and white, the costumes by Edith Head.
The costume. Okay, I will admit, I stand by my argument that you could rewrite the film without Chris pretty easily, but the final scene is definitely it's cranking up the Christmas feels to 10. I will give you that. And I do know that is the most iconic scene for most people who love the movie.
It's not just that most iconic scene, it's the payoff. It's what the whole rest of the movie is pointing toward. Is it going to snow? Is it not going to snow? It is snowing. It's a white Christmas. And everyone's in love. And we have presents under the tree. And we're dressed like
Bing
sexy
Crosby
Santa Claus.
has his child bride.
So,
yeah, and he has a little Santa hat on.
So you watched it because it's colorized.
Oh,
so you
no, it's not colorized. It was actually color. It was never black and white.
Black and white.
Nope, it was one of the first in color movies.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Do you know what?
So much.
I do. One other quick little fun fact. You may notice that when the Haynes sisters are talking about when Bing Crosby got the letter from the brother, and the reason that Betty knows that the letter really came from Judy, Betty says he's been in Alaska. He's been out of the country. Alaska was not a state at the time of the movie.
No.
Yeah, it was another country. You're welcome. Anyway.
There you go.
The movie would not be the same. It would not evoke the same feelings if it did not have that climax of the Christmas.
Yes.
Visuals, the music, the whole.
And I will, going on to factor 4.
Yes, sir.
I admit, traditional use, this is widely viewed as a Christmas movie.
Yes.
I admit I'm in the minority by seeing it for what it really is. But
I just think the reason people watch it year round is because it's so dang good. The music is amazing.
I don't really think that many people watch it year round.
Well,
I've never watched it other than at Christmas.
My girls would watch it, rewind it, watch it again.
Aww.
all right.
Well, they especially like the song Mandy. Are you not remembering?
Mandy.
It's the one where where Judy is dancing and coming.
Okay. I gotta watch it again.
Yeah, you do.
What about
Stay late. We'll watch it.
Sister.
Especially when Bing and Danny are dancing.
There's lots to be said for the R.
Oh yeah.
So many non-Christmas songs.
It's true, but the climax and the aesthetics.
And so I do agree with what you said there, that it does make a strong showing in factors 3 and 4.
I think it's less of a Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life, which is shocking that I would think
I think it's more of a Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe we say it's a tie?
You can't have a tie.
Oh, no.
I would put it at 7. I mean, if we put It's a Wonderful Life at 6, we could put it at 7.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true. Aesthetically, it definitely is more.
It's even,
that's true.
Okay, fine. So I don't feel good about it.
Cheers.
I don't feel good about it, but we have it as a 7 right now. Okay. So, next one. We have Home Alone. In what way?
That was my survey says. That probably sounded terrible to listeners. I'm sorry. No, I feel the same about this one as I feel about the big argument that we're about to have later.
Whoa. Preview of things to come. I think this is, the more I think about it, the more I think we should bump Love Actually down from a 5. I think we
I'm okay with that.
Let's bump Love
I'm
Actually
fine
down
with
to a 3 or a 4. Let's do 4
Okay.
let's do a 3.
Okay, I was going to agree
Because
with 4.
I think this movie is in between Love Actually and It's a Wonderful Life.
Could Home Alone be the 5?
Home Alone could be a good 5.
Could it be the standard
It could
bearing
be a
5,
5.
Evangeline?
I could be, I could.
Because I
maybe
do
live with
think it
that.
divides it really evenly because
Yeah.
Christmas happening is prominent.
Yes.
But when you really look at it, it doesn't have to be Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah,
They could have gone, it could have been their summer vacation.
yeah.
So they use Christmas liberally, but it really doesn't, they don't have to for the story to work.
And let's go
So
through.
that's a good 5.
Let's go through this in the factors then.
Oh, sorry.
So
I'm doing things
it
out of
does-
order.
We need to be meticulous with
I will
this.
never have a career in law.
Neither will I, as my
Dang.
son constantly reminds
You guys
me.
are missing out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so first of all, yes, the movie does primarily take place around Christmas. The family is leaving on a Christmas vacation.
Right.
Okay, so this next one is an important one. Whether Christmas is a core part of the plot, or could the film take place but for Christmas? I think you are correct, Mandy.
Yeah.
Where it would be easy to imagine this not being a Christmas movie. Family's going on a summer vacation, spring
Yeah,
break.
they could have used, if it were 4th of July, they could have
Yeah.
used fireworks in some sort of violent manner.
Now, that's actually not a bad idea.
I think people probably do that.
But I will say
Was that obvious? Sorry.
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
fact that it is Christmas does help the plot a little bit in the sense that the wet bandits are patrolling around specifically because people have lots of presents out because it's Christmas.
That is true.
So that aids it to a slight extent, but you could rewrite that pretty easily just saying they're on a crime spree in general without the added perk of the Christmas presents.
I think the writers used the fact that it is at Christmas to their advantage, but it didn't, it's not the jumping off point. They use it as a device.
Yes.
Almost one might say a marketing ploy.
Almost, one might say.
One might say. All right, next one. Overall feeling, is the movie trying to evoke Christmas-type feelings?
I hope not, because they
I don't
didn't.
think so, no.
I think they are. Like, in some parts. Like, there's a scene when Kevin is going into, like, that old stone church where they're singing Christmas carols, and he talks to the old guy. There are a few scenes where they highlight the Christmas tree, the family's trying to get home for Christmas, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, I granted one of the reasons besides the fact that they're like, oh my gosh, we left our, what is he, 8-year-old son home alone. We're terrible parents. But yeah, the whole, oh no, he's going to spend Christmas alone, not just he's going to be alone in the house and we could be arrested.
That does add a little extra punch. A little extra punch.
A little extra, but you're, to be fair, right here on this piece of paper with your criteria written out, it says overall feeling. Is the movie trying to evoke Christmas type feeling? I think they're trying to evoke a bunch of like cheap laughs and ouches, like empathetic pain.
You ever seen those YouTube videos where like a doctor goes through all the injuries that the two
The
got?
two criminals got.
Yeah, they would've-
Would they have died?
they would have super died several times over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
God bless Daniel Stern. Poor guy.
Yeah.
All right, so next, traditional use. Do a significant number of people view the film as a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Do they? I don't know.
Oh, wait.
So I will say I did not. Well, actually, this could be helpful because for whatever reason, just some accident of what we happen to have on cassette tape.
Fate.
I grew up watching Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, as opposed to the regular Home Alone. It fits the same boxes here. You could just transpose all the other arguments for it.
So is that at Christmas also?
I don't believe it does take place around Christmas, so like the exact same way. So I do think me and my brothers would watch that film just whenever. Like we didn't view it as particularly a Christmas movie.
Okay.
I know lots of people do view it as Christmas, but to me, it never seemed like a necessary logical link.
I forget that it happened at Christmas. I mean, I haven't I maybe watched it. I've maybe 1.5 times. You know, like.
Yeah.
So, but I don't. Like when I saw it on the list, I was like, Home Alone. Wait, and then I remembered Oh yeah, they
Christmas.
were going on Christmas
All
vacation.
right, so this lends me to think we should give it a lower score. So let's go to this. Is it higher or lower than Love Actually? I think slightly higher because culturally it seems like slightly more of a Christmas movie.
Okay.
But not much higher. I would give it a 4 if Love Actually gets a 3.
Yeah, I thought we said it was a 5.
Love Actually?
No, Home Alone. I thought we decided.
Oh yeah,
it
I
was a
thought we
5.
just said
I
it
might
was
be
a
losing
5.
my faith in it. Going from a
Yeah,
5
I
to a
think
4.
I think it needs to bump down to a
Okay,
4.
so we have
fair.
4 Home Alone. So for those keeping track at home, we currently have Love Actually as a 3, Home Alone as a 4, It's a Wonderful Life as a 6, White Christmas as a 7. Starting to feel a little high. Anyway, all right. Next one, The Holiday.
I don't know that movie.
You don't know that? Oh, you need to see that movie. So it
Can
takes
I-
place around Christmas.
It does take place around Christmas.
I think it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Christmas.
Who's in it?
Jude Law,
Oh,
Cameron
why have
Diaz.
I? Oh, is it the one where they
Jack
trade
Black.
houses?
Yes.
And
Jack
who
Black and
the
what's her
heck
name?
would have thought Kate Winslet and
Kate
Jack
Winslet.
Black
I know, but
would
I
have
love
chemistry?
It.
I know, it's
love
amazing.
it.
No,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the movie that Love Actually wishes it was.
True. Good point.
So does it actually, so I know it takes place around the Christmas season. Like it culminates at New Year's.
Yeah.
Do they
Yes.
actually, does anyone actually celebrate Christmas in the film?
They celebrate Hanukkah.
Oh, well.
No, I don't think Cameron, who's in England, I don't think she.
Now I'm thinking of when Harry Met
celebrates
Sally.
Christmas. I know. Well, and I'm thinking of Sleepless in Seattle. So like we're
Yeah.
all over the place.
So let me say, while you all are mulling this over, me and my
Our
brother
romance.
are both, this is one of me and my brother's strangest opinions maybe, but we are both of the opinion that in this movie, Jude Law reaches the pinnacle the human species has ever made in terms of handsomeness.
I mean,
When
he's
Jude
sort of
Law
already
has
there.
like those glasses on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of already there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Danielle gets really irritated with me because I just won't shut up about how handsome Jude Law looks throughout the movie. And I'm like arguing with my sister-in-law, like me and my brother arguing against sister-in-law, like, no, you don't understand. You don't think Jude Law's handsome enough, Lauren. Like,
Yeah.
so that's my big takeaway from this movie.
And
He is-
he's a book editor.
I know.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
His 2 children are both
Yes.
very cute with little British accents.
Oh,
Pretty-
children with British accents.
It's
oh,
pretty
my
irresistible.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel very Christmassy.
Cameron Diaz
so
never had a
Christmassy.
chance. But
No.
Yeah. No.
I wish. Yeah, anyway, never mind.
So I do feel like, so it does take place around the Christmas season, but I don't know if they celebrate Christmas, which is a problem.
Because that could also be one of those things where it could have been a summer holiday.
Yeah, they
But
could
it would have a
they
different
could have gone
feeling.
on vacation, like. But if it wasn't for Christmas,
That's true.
they wouldn't.
Both are
I mean,
feeling,
it's like a Christmas break, Christmas getaway. But yeah,
both
it could
Kate
be-
Winslet and Cameron Diaz are feeling done wrong by love.
Yeah.
And they feel that more acutely because it's the Christmas season.
Oh, and you don't want to be alone at Christmas.
Yes.
Oh.
So I think
So that's
you
sort of the
could
Hallmark
rewrite
movie
it to
setup.
be a non-Christmas movie.
You could.
But the fact that it's the Christmas season does give it a little extra
So
punch.
it would lose
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And it's also a time, like the week between Christmas and New Year's, where culturally you're expected to be on vacation too. So again, a little extra punch.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The overall feeling, I think it needs to lose a few points on this because half the movie takes place in LA,
Yeah.
and there's really no attempt to make
Yes.
it feel Christmassy.
You're right.
Because LA doesn't feel Christmassy.
It doesn't. No offense to LA
No,
viewers,
I have lived in Southern California, and it was really hard to make it feel like Christmas.
but the part that takes place in England does feel Christmassy because it has cottages and snow
snow.
And
and-
Dickens.
and Dickens
And Jude Law,
and
who
Jude
And Jude
Law.
Law.
do whatever he
Who's
wants.
not in the holiday spirit looking at Jude Law? I mean,
so shiny and bright.
he's like a Christmas star.
Hang him on the Christmas tree.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so now the final factor, Mandy. All right, traditional use. Do you think a significant number of people view this as a Christmas film? I'm trying to think because this is one of, as far as chick flicks go, I kind of like this one.
I mean,
me and Danielle watch it more often.
I think when I watched it, it was Christmas because they put it on Netflix at Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when me and Danielle watch this, like if we're like scrolling through movies in June, would we think, no, that's a Christmas movie? I don't think we would. Would you
I
guys?
might be less likely to watch it in June. Because you want to be cozy.
Yeah, you got to have some hot cocoa when you're
Okay.
watching a movie like that.
Yeah.
So
All right, so I think that
I don't know how we can not have ties.
I think we need to slot this
Six-
above Home Alone,
Yeah.
Yes.
below It's Wonderful Life. So give it a 5.
Below It's a
Oh, I think
Wonderful
it's
Life,
more-
You
above
think it's
a
more
Wonderful
I think
Life.
it's above It's a Wonderful Life, shockingly.
Whoa.
Or at least same,
tied.
or at least
But you
tied.
don't want to tie.
I disagree, but I do realize I might be having the minority report here. So we'll put it, we'll give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this next one's a good one. Nightmare Before Christmas.
I thought that was a Halloween movie. Isn't it?
Well,
Isn't Jack
Yes,
like a
no.
Halloween character and he
Yes,
wants
from-
to
so
take over
I'm going to be
Christmas?
super honest with you all.
Okay.
This should be a movie that I love. I love Tim Burton. I love claymation. It's the sort of thing I should love. I've seen this movie once. I didn't care for it, and that really surprised me.
I watched it
But-
once and I don't really remember it, but I'm not. I
So
don't
the
know
overall
why.
plot, so there's in this conceit here is that there's all these like realms that like embody different holidays, right? So there's like
Right.
an Easter town, Christmas town, Halloween,
Halloween
town,
town.
all that. So Jack Skellington,
Skeleton, yes.
yeah, is in Halloween Town. He's like a bigwig there. He discovers Christmas and tries to
Town.
bring Christmas to Halloween Town.
Right.
This involves kidnapping Santa Claus at one time and Jack like trying to deliver presents.
Yeah.
So it is certainly a Christmas Halloween mashup.
Which is weird.
Very.
Yes.
Very weird.
Evangeline, do you view this as more of a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
I'm not sure where to come down on this because I feel like all of us have not watched it a whole lot. I have seen it, but
I know Bethany loves it, but I don't.
yeah.
Does
I'm
Bethany
gonna
view it
say-
as more of a Christmas? Like, would she watch it around Christmas or would she watch it in like October?
I mean, she and her friend, they dressed up for Halloween one time in
Yeah, I feel like you see
Nightmare Before Christmas.
the
I think
Jack's-
it's more Halloween.
Jack Skellington like costumes at Halloween.
Yeah.
So I do
I
kind
don't
of associate
see-
him
right.
with Halloween, which he's from Halloween Town.
Right. And like this former student of mine was just making has an Etsy shop and she was selling all of her Nightmare Before Christmas stuff for Halloween.
Yeah.
So I think it's a Halloween.
I do think there is a subset of people, some like non-traditionalists who like to be kind of macabre, countercultural, and like this is one of their Christmas things,
It's
right?
a dark Christmas
Well, that's
movie.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds like both of you are thinking those are in the minority of Nightmare Before Christmas fans.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't
In my
really-
limited experience.
Right. I know a lot of people who
I know
love
you
it,
want
but
us to be experts, but I am not in this case.
So
I'm
disappointed,
I'm
Mandy.
so sorry.
Can't talk about Nightmare Before Christmas quite as eloquently as you can about Jude Law's handsomeness.
No.
Oh, I mean,
I mean,
I
who
mean,
can?
that goes for
Who
all of us
can?
here.
it does go for all of us. At least we agree on that.
Yeah. We fight about everything except Jude
Jude
Law's beauty.
Sounds like we are all kind of landing at a lower place on this, so I'm going to give it a 2. Put it below Love Actually.
I'm okay with
I
one.
don't like. I feel like we're gonna insult people with like. I
Oh,
don't
well.
know.
We're not saying it's a bad movie, we're just saying
Well,
it's not a
yes.
Christmas
If
movie.
If this were
Okay.
a call-in show, I would be worried, but it's not. So
That would be interesting.
they can.
All right. So
Sorry,
there we go. Wanna
I
make
do care.
Okay, so now saving the best for last.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm rolling up my sleeves.
Listeners, you all know what I'm going to say before I even say it because it's the argument that gets repeated all across social media, in living rooms, across our great nation, nay, the world.
And my pastor disagrees with me even.
Good. You should listen to him. And that movie, of course, is Die Hard. I believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I believe it belongs near or at the top of this list. I believe Mandy will disagree with me. Mandy, would you like to make your opening statements?
Well, first of all, it does not have to happen at Christmas.
Oh, you were wrong there.
No, it 100% does not have to happen at Christmas. It could be a grand opening for the new building. It's a company party. It doesn't have to be a company Christmas party.
There's not many parties that aren't. There's not many company parties that aren't Christmas.
Well, but that's why I was saying
Evangeline
it could be
speaks
like a
truth.
grand opening of the new building because they make a big deal about the building. Anyway, the building is new. So why isn't it just like a ribbon cutting ceremony for the building?
Okay, so a couple things here. First of all...
Oh, he pulled out notes.
So first of all, yes, it does take place over Christmas, right?
Yes,
so that
it
is
does.
the first factor, what
Yep.
we have already
And
established.
it's not sufficient.
That's not sufficient. However, I think the fact that it is Christmas is vital to the plot for a couple reasons. One, John McClane, so Bruce Willis, is flying out to reconnect with his family. Him and his wife has been estranged for some time after his wife took the job in LA and Bruce has stayed behind in New York.
Right.
He's viewing Christmas as an opportunity to get the family back together again, to
Right.
try to right his past wrongs. That's the sort of thing that has a special poignance around Christmas and sort of reason you do it. Like, I'm going to visit my family because it's Christmas, and also I'm going to use it to, patch things up with my wife and get my family back together. Second, as Evangeline already said, the party, it is essential for the plot that this break-in happens during a party.
Yes, agreed.
Because you need it's a time when only the
Everyone's
employees
there
there
and
are
only-
there.
Yep,
They're
yep.
off their
I
guard. The rest
agree.
of the building is empty.
Yep.
That can only happen during a Christmas party.
No, it can only happen during a party.
But you can't have the convergence of both factors where John McClane is coming for a special purpose while the building is having a special purpose.
No, he could be coming to support his wife because that's part of the reason that they got separated is because she didn't feel supported. And so if the party were purely about like the company and it was celebrating the company and the building, then that would be a really awesome gesture for him to come to show his wife, I'm really proud of you and this company you work for.
That is true. However, that gesture makes more sense at Christmas.
I think it would be even more meaningful if it weren't at Christmas because he would be only coming because of her achievements.
But she had been out there achieving for some time.
Well,
we're
yeah,
led to believe
finally figured it out.
She's been out there in LA for several months at least with this new job.
Right.
She went out there because of the new job.
Right.
And John McClane says that he's opposed to it because he doesn't want to uproot the family. He's dedicated there. But then, one of the many brilliant things about this film, throughout the course of the film, he realized the error of his ways and realized part of it was he was threatened by his wife's success.
Exactly.
And he grows from that.
Right.
So his wife can't have the success. He's been having the success for several months. So you can't have a big unveiling of Nakatomi Plaza. Like, you're not going to have a big party because a building is opening.
Yes,
It's because the company's doing well.
Well, yeah.
And the company had been doing well, which is why Holly had to leave in the first place.
Yes.
And had been gone for several months.
Right, but he could be coming to celebrate Holly and her success and the success of the company.
You could, but it wouldn't work nearly as well.
That's not the question.
No,
The question
no.
is, could you?
You could do any of these.
I'm not saying it's a
You
zero.
could rewrite the Santa Claus and have it take place during Easter, but it wouldn't be the same movie.
That is not a fair comparison at all. No.
All right, so going on to the next one. Does this movie try to evoke a Christmas-type feeling? Overwhelmingly, yes.
Not overwhelmingly, but at
Overwhelmingly, yes.
At moments.
You see the Nakatomi Plaza is decorated to the nines for Christmas. All the employees are celebrating Christmas. You see all around LA has the trappings of Christmas. The limo driver is getting ready to celebrate. Everyone is. Carl from Family Matters, the cop, is getting ready to celebrate. Christmas permeates this movie.
Nah.
You disagree?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have to. No. I think it's similar to Home Alone. The writers use it, but I don't feel like it's the jumping off point. I don't feel like it has to be. I think it's more of a Christmas movie than Home Alone. I will say that, but I think it's very similar. My objections are similar to those of Home Alone.
Well, now the final one is the traditional use. Culturally, does our culture view it as a Christmas movie?
Our culture is wrong about a lot of things.
Our culture is growingly acknowledging the truth that Die Hard is a Christmas film. And I acknowledge that it is still an open argument, but that argument itself has become a Christmas tradition. Right?
That is not in your favor.
Yes, it is.
The fact that it's a heated argument means it might even be evenly split.
It means every Christmas
somebody argues about Die Hard, so that makes Die Hard a battle lines.
It's a Christmas tradition. You set up the tree, you get the eggnog, you argue about whether Die Hard's a Christmas movie. That's a treasured Christmas tradition now.
Oh, Lordy, Evangeline.
I just don't care.
The fact that she doesn't care is a point in my favor.
Okay.
Well, I think all of that taken together, I think the strongest points in favor of it being a Christmas movie are, once again, but for it being Christmas, John McClane would have had no real excuse, because he can't just go, He's a man, again, this movie's brilliant, so John McClane is a complicated, complex, multi-layered hero. He's too proud, especially at the beginning of the movie, to go to his wife and apologize without some sort of impetus pushing him out the door. He just is not at that point yet. He needs the social convention of Christmas, this excuse that all society is like, hey, you get together with your family at Christmas. That's the impetus for him going there in the first place. You pair that with the fact that Christmas is the one time a year when Hans Gruber's plan will work, because it combines two things. One, all of the employees at Nakatomi Plaza for the Nakatomi Corporation will be there. Hostages are ready for the taking. They'll be there. They'll be drunk or on some harder drugs like that one poor guy.
Yeah.
And they'll be easy and lucrative hostages. Two, the rest of the building will be deserted. So they'll be able to get down to the bank vault very easily. So John McClane does not go to Holly at any other time other than Christmas. Hans Gruber does not do this master plan at any other time other than Christmas. When you factor in also the Christmas imagery that is all around there throughout, permeating the film, and the fact that for many people, watching Die Hard and arguing about Die Hard's Christmas bona fides is a treasured part of Christmas. I think we have to rate it at least a 10 out of 10.
No! Absolutely not.
All right, so Evangeline, what are you thinking for the rating here?
It's kind of too bad that Jude Law isn't in it.
Okay, we can all agree on that.
Final factor, would this movie be better with Jude Law?
Unequivocally.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so as a reminder, so Evangeline, since you're the neutral party here, I feel like your vote here should carry some more weight. As a reminder for you and the listeners, we currently have Jaws at 0, Nightmare Before Christmas at 2, Love Actually at 3, Home Alone is a 4, It's a Wonderful Life is a 6, The Holiday is a 6.5, and White Christmas is a 7. Where do you think Die Hard belongs on the scale?
It doesn't go above White Christmas.
Thank you.
I've seen this movie once, I think. I would put it somewhere in the middle.
Let's make Die Hard the 5. The fact that it divides people over Christmas.
That's a good point.
Die Hard is the 5.
Okay.
I feel good about that.
I actually like
Oh,
that.
my husband is nodding. There's peace in the house.
Yeah, Peter agrees with. Okay,
It's a Christmas miracle.
Well, when I said last year, we got to an agreement where I said, I will say it is a Christmassy movie.
Whoa. Well, look at
Right? But I will not say it's a Christmas movie.
Guys, you want to know what helps a marriage to last? It's these sort of things right here.
Yes. 30 years in a month, almost exactly.
Corey and I always say lowered expectations.
Well, that too.
Seriously.
All right. Well, I really feel like we have all gone on a journey together during this podcast.
Yeah.
We've solved some very pressing issues.
Absolutely.
And we've
World
all grown.
peace is right
just
around
like
the-
John McClane.
Just like
grown
John
in
McClane.
self-knowledge and his
We have
ability to be
grown as
vulnerable.
people, and our feet aren't bleeding.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, listeners, if you have any thoughts, but maybe you have thoughts, I don't know, or if you have any other borderline cases you'd like to discuss,
Or
please
if
reach
you
out to
have
us.
if you have extra pictures of Jude Law,
Yeah. They need a place
we
where they can
haven't
send these
seen.
things to us.
Well, maybe they could do this as part of a review that they leave on iTunes.
yeah.
or Spotify.
How many Jude Laws
That
did we
would
see?
actually be hilarious.
5 Jude Laws.
I will
Forget
tell
5
I will
stars.
say right now, any listeners, if you want to leave a review that mentions Jude Law or any of this stuff, we will
Yeah.
100% read it on the podcast. So please do that.
100%.
It will be, they yammered on and on about Jude Law way
Yeah.
too much. 1 star.
I'll still read it.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all. And as the rest of you can tell, things are winding down at the Anselm Digital Pub. Fire's down to embers, the customers are trundling home, and you've polished off your final glass. Once again, Believe to See is a podcast of the Anselm Society Arts Guild. To find out more about the Anselm Society, please visit us at anselmsociety.org. Thank you all again for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.